Hi, welcome to Two Blurred Girls. I'm Tamika. As you can see, Tamara isn't here, but she is on a short hiatus and she will be back around the 17th. But the show must go on. And John isn't here because John is sick, unfortunately. But we do wish John a speedy recovery, though. We want him to be well, and he will join us on the next show. So it's me. Yay, you get me, Tamika. All right. So without further ado, we must go on to Squid Game. So this is our review of episode 7 through 9. And I have to tell you that this has been a whirlwind journey. this this whole this whole series has just been a whirlwind for me. Um, this unlike anything I've ever seen before. And I think I've heard that there's going to be a season 2, so that's going to be good to me. But so let's go to episode 7. So in episode 7, we get the aftermath of the marble game. And if you remember the marble game, it was, I think they each had to choose just a specific game to play marbles with. And I think they each got 10 marbles each, I believe. I'm kind of hazy on that game. But anyway, most of the players that we cared about died in that episode. Ali died. He died to Cho, um, who swindled him because he didn't want to die. He wanted the money. Also, I forgot her name, but she died to Kong, the girl. And our favorite beloved character, the older man, he died to Song, our main character. So all these characters are feeling the aftermath of the Marvel game. And they go into the dormitory from the game and Sue, or in our previous episode, we called him Snake Face. He met, I believe her name is Minyo. He met her, the crazy lady, and she stated that she is the weakest link. So for some reason, since she's the weakest link, she gets exempt from the games because nobody picked her. So she went through that whole soap opera of why she's the weakest link and blah blah blah. So you have that little drama. But the main part about episode 7 that is very interesting is that the VIP players are coming to the island. And we heard a little bit about the VIP players in the previous episodes, and I think these are just past winners from the games, and they are invited back, I guess, every year whenever there's a new contestant to join the VIP group. These VIPs, they come to the island and they have on like these elaborate gold plated glittered diamond masks. And I've noticed that these masks they represent, I think, predator animals. Because I know I saw an owl. I think I saw a jaguar. But anyway, I thought that was significant to point out just what each of the masks represent. Like they are the alpha predators or they're the predators. So they won. So they're on top. So that's something to point out. At least I think that's good. Um, Also, we find that the um, yeah. So one thing I wanted to point out is the couple. So we talked about there's a couple in this game, a married couple, and we found out that the husband won the marble game, but his wife lost. So that was a tragedy. And it was a tragedy that he was feeling himself. He wanted the game to stop, and I think he was player 69. He wanted the game to stop, and he was like, "Come on, if we all agree, we can stop this game." Of course, everyone else said, "No, we still want to play because if we stop, then all the people that played died in vain." So they continue on with the game. Unfortunately, that player 69, committed suicide because he just couldn't face the fact that his wife, she died. It was just really hard for him, and I felt really bad for him, honestly. Um, just everything he was going through with that. Um, so anyway, we go back to let me go back. So, the front man, he's awaiting the arrival of the VIPs, right? So going back to episode 6, the policeman was hiding out in the archives, as you remember, after he discovered information about the game and the previous players, and there's just records on all these players, basically. So he's hiding out in the archives. The front man, I think that's what he's called, the one with the black mask, he is out looking for him. So he's trying to find him before the VIPs come, but they come. And we finally see the head man in charge of this game. Well, his mask. So the front man tells the head man, or the big boss, I'm gonna call him, the players are here. And then I think when the front man goes to meet with the players, the VIP players, he doesn't come with the host, as he's called. The host won't join them, which I thought was odd. And the VIPs were kind of upset, but the front man stated to them that you'll still be able to have a good time. So what I wanted to point out was that these VIPs, they're coming and they're watching the game. So they're the audience for these series of games, these later games, you know. Um, I it was just so, I don't know. I just felt so just seeing these VIP players and just the life of luxury. They go into the VIP lounge and it's jungle theme. There's models and they're spray painted in a animalistic print, and they're there basically as just servants or just objects, basically. And you can see the wealth being flaunted. And from here, we figure out that the VIPs were betting on the remainder players. So they have a lot of stake in these last few games that are coming up. So they're preparing and they're sitting down preparing for the next game, which is the fifth game, I believe, or sixth, one of the games. Anyway, this game is called I think it's called Shattered Glass, but I'm trying to see, what is this game called? It's something, I think it's called Shattered Glass. Anyway, um the players have to pick they go into this room and there's mannequins, right? And all the mannequins have numbers 1 through 16. So they have to pick a number. They don't know what the numbers mean or is there a specific order, but everyone's picking numbers. And Song is debating, our main character, which number should I pick? Because he's stuck between number 1 or number, I think it was 6 or 16. And he was like, if I go last, what does that mean? If I go first, what does that mean? So anyway, a guy came up to him and said, "Oh, I want to be first." So they exchanged numbers, and then song is last. So in this final game, um, it was this final game was crazy, y'all. It's it's like a it looks like hopscotch but with glass, and it's like on top of this tall platform, and there are tempered glass, which means it's really strong and it can hold two people. There are glass plates. And then the other glass is normal, which means that it can't even hold one person and it's going to break. So you don't know which glass you're hopping from, and there's two sets of them. So you you basically just have to take a chance. Of course, if you pick the wrong glass, you will fall, I don't know, hundreds of feet to your death, basically. So the what the VIPs were watching on TV, they're now live watching this as an audience member. And they're drinking their cognac, they're drinking their brandy, they're just having a good time, living the life of luxury, smoking their cigars, while these people are trying to put their life on the line, trying to see if they're going to die. And of course, each one hops and each one falls to their death and plummets. Now, this game really gave me some anxiety because it's like you can hop on one plate of glass, right? And it's like, okay, I got this. And you hop on the next plate, and that plate breaks and you die. And you just saw somebody in front of you die. And it's just bizarre. Just, I don't know how I would do in that game. I probably would not do well. And of course, you have people who are afraid and they're frozen in fear. But also, I forgot to mention, you got 16 minutes. So the person that's frozen in fear, they get pushed to go because you got other players that need to go, and everybody, or one or two people, whoever, needs to go across this plate of glass, like this bridge of glass, to get to the other side. So you got some players who are hesitant, um, and you have some players like Duck Sue or the snake face guy who decides to sabotage the game and throw all the rules out, and he wants to just stay on one plate of glass and let time run out so we all can die. Now, I don't know why I was surprised by his actions. He's been this dick this whole time. But the crazy lady, she came, and I didn't expect this part. This part got me. So she came on the glass where he was, and she hopped on the same glass he was, and she wrapped her arms around him so tight. And I thought, like a bear hug, right? And I thought it was because he's stronger than her. I thought there's a way he can just get her off him. So she basically said, "I told you, right? You screw me over, I kill you." So she leans back, and he can't do anything but fall with her. So basically she kills them both. Which was, I didn't expect that at all. But she did say, "If you screw me over, I'll kill you." So I guess she fulfilled her promise on that end. Oh boy. So anyway, so they're both dead. Snake Face is dead, ladies and gentlemen. Um, woohoo, I guess. Oh boy. Karma got to him. That's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, so um so just the tone of this game. Like I was saying, you have some people who are hesitant to go, and then you got the clock, right? And the clock is ticking. Everybody else has to go, or everybody's gonna die. And then you have people who wants to sabotage the game, like Snakeface. And then you have people who it's like they're trying to find a strategy. Like, okay, this person hopped on this glass and that broke, but if I go to the left or to the right, if I go right, maybe I'll win. And you can take a chance or you could die. But anyway, long story short, there was some hope. There was a no, everybody died except our three main characters. Cho, um, Kong, I think that's her name, and Song. And then there was an older man. So the older man had a strategy because he used to be a glass maker. And he could tell the difference between the tempered glass and the normal glass. So they were they were getting along in the game pretty well, and of course the VIPs were like, "Oh, he could tell what's going on. This is a boring game." So the front man was like, "Oh, well, let me make it interesting. I turn the lights out." Because the old man could tell the difference between the way the light reflects on each glass plate to tell which one was tempered, which means that it's the strongest one, and which one was normal, which means that it'll break easily. Now they turned the lights out, and the old man was like, "Oh no, I can't see." Well, let me do it by sound. Anybody got anything? Song pulls out the marble that he held from the game he lost with the old man, or the game he won against the old man. And I guess that didn't work out, and they didn't have anything else. So the glassmaker was trying to figure out another way to tell between the difference of it. And it was 2 minutes left. No, actually, it was like 20 minutes left. So it probably was less than 20 minutes. Anyway, Cho was telling him, "You need to go, or the rest of us gonna die." So he was hesitant and hesitant, and then Cho was like, "Well, let me help you out." And he pushed him. Of course, the guy died. The glassmaker died. I don't know why I expected anything less from Cho, because Cho is an opportunist and he will kill whoever he has to get that cash prize. So Cho goes across the bridge of the glass and he gets to the platform. And it is literally 4 seconds left. And then Song and the girl, they jump too. So all three of them made it. So our three main characters now have made and conquered the glass shattering game. What's crazy is you can see what would have happened if nobody made it. They blew up all the rest of the glass, and that was crazy because all these shards of glass just cut them all. And we find out later on that the girl, she got the worst of it because a shard pierced through her and went through her stomach. Oh my goodness, it was terrible. But she had to hide um that from the other contestants because, like we mentioned, you can't have any weakness in this game or they'll take you out. So there's three people left. Um, they tell them congratulations. There's a special dinner for you. Change into this. So they change out of their infamous green jogging suits that we have known them in, and then they change into these tuxedos and they have this elaborate dinner which looks very good. But how can anyone eat knowing that you killed or so many people died slash you have killed these people in this game, and there's so much death in this game? But the guys find the strength to eat, but of course she doesn't have too much strength because she's bleeding out. but she has to conceal it. So, when dinner is over with, we notice that the guards leave one knife for each player, and that's it. We don't know what else the next game will be, but they left them weapons. So you have that tension going on. So, um, oh boy, I, I just, oh, it was just crazy. I just don't know what to say. Um, so yeah, um, so going back a little bit, because I'm gonna come back to the players. So going back to the policeman. So the policeman, just I think he took the wait staff for the VIP lounge. He punched that guy out, the old switcheroo, put that guy's mask on, and then he was serving VIP number 4, who was in his boar mask, I believe. He was a dick. Okay. Um anyway, he took a liking to the policeman who was underneath the mask. He wanted him to take his mask off. He said, "No, we can't take our mask off, but let's go to a private room." So, long story short, the policeman um, threatened and blackmailed and put a gun to VIP boarhead number 4, um, who was told him everything about the game, and he recorded it on his cell phone, right? So the front man noticed that they were gone a long time, and they found Boarhead, or the guy, no, VIP number 4, on the floor in the private room lounge. And then there was a manhunt on the island for the policeman. So the policeman gets a diver suit, and he's swimming, and we're like, yes, he got his evidence on the phone. He is swimming off this island, and then he reaches another section. It's some type of cliff, something. He's crawling up and kind of get bars on his cell phone, good reception, which I felt him so much. And I have Verizon, and you would think that's good reception, but apparently it is just as crappy. So he's trying to climb up to get good reception because he wants to call his police chief and tell him all about this game, everything he found out, and about the video evidence he has on his phone. So he gets a hold to his police chief, and he says, "I'm going to send you pictures, I'm going to send you videos." And I think they went through, because I saw he had 1 or 2 bars on his cell phone, but that part I'm not sure. But I hope they went through. So anyway, he gets to the top. Of course, they reach him, and there's that, what you see in movies, that moment where somebody's stepping back on the cliff, and oh no, it's a rock there, and one more step and they can die. But so that's what the policeman is. He has nowhere else to run, basically. The black mask man, or the front man, tells him, just put the gun down, come with us, um and just you'll be safe, or something like that. So I guess the policeman recognized his voice, and he was like, it sounds strange. So the moment, ladies and gentlemen, that we've all been waiting for, who is behind this black mask, was revealed in episode 8. And we find out that it's the policeman's brother. The one he's been looking for, the one that motivated this whole undercover sting operation that he created to infiltrate this game, that he thought his brother died in this game. And now we find out that he is the front man. for this brutal game. And it was mind blowing. I have to tell you, I was shocked. And of course, once he took his mask off, said, "Brother, why?" And he didn't get that why because I forgot his brother's name, but he shot him. So anyway, the policeman's dead. The evidence fell down with him, but we hope that it went through to the police chief right before he died, but that we don't know yet. Maybe in season 2 we'll find out. That was a shocker, let me tell you. So anyway, we now know who is behind his black mask. Is the policeman's brother. Oh, that was a shocker for me. I did not even expect that. Oh, so anyway, oh goodness. So back to the players. Um, so the players go back to the dormitory. Um, Song goes to Kong or the girl, and he says, "Hey, we could get together and we can defeat Cho." Because I don't trust him now. He used to be my lifelong friend from college, and now I don't really trust him anymore. He just killed this man who trying to help us with the glass. Just pushed him off and just splat killed him and then hopped over him, literally, well, sort of literally over his dead body. So he started to notice that she was getting weaker, and he pulled her coat jacket back and he saw she was bleeding out, and he's like, "Oh no." He went to get help, banging on her door in his blood soaked hands. "Help, help, somebody help me, please." The lights come on, and we're thinking, "Oh, okay, they're going to get a doctor." And they come with a box, which we should have known. Whenever there's those little gift box, that means that somebody is dead or they're going to die. So they come with their little gift box. And then we see Cho standing over her. And Song is like, "What are you doing?" And we see that Cho just stabbed her in the neck. And he's like, "Oh no, you killed her too?" And Cho told Song, "Well, she's gonna die anyway, so it's a mercy kill." I just Song is finding out so much about his friend that he thought he knew in college, but he's figuring out that this man is a psychopath, or he could either be a psychopath to some people, or he could be, I don't know, mastermind just playing the game, getting rid of competition. I don't know. Anyway, um, Song is looking over his shoulder a lot more now that Cho has killed. How many people has he killed now? Two, three, four people. He killed Ali, set him up to die. I think he killed some more people. I don't know. You would have to just do a death count on Cho to see how many people he set up to kill in this game, so he could get the money for himself, basically. Good grief. Um. So when all that happens, the guards go over and take Kong and put her in a little gift box, and we know what happens with the gift box. They get incinerated. The bodies do. The front man, who we now know is the policeman's brother, he's looking in the mirror, haunted by the death of killing his only brother, his long lost brother, which is gonna haunt him throughout this series. And then it ends. And now we get to our final episode, episode 9, the epic conclusion of this long, bloody, dramatic, um, I don't know. I had more words, but mind blowing, captivating series, which is Squid Game. So the final game, we so now we have Song and Cho, right? Final game, the guards go to them and they say, we'll flip a coin. One side has a square, the other side has a triangle. Song picks the triangle, so they flip the coin, and then that coin goes to Song, and then they said, okay, pick offense or defense. So I think Song picked no, he picked offense. So they go into the next game, which took place where red light, green light was, which we remember the infamous red light, green light, which has scarred all of us now. And I would never play red light, green light the same or think about it the same. I would play it the same, I live, but I would never think about it the same way ever again since I've seen this series. But so they go into the courtyard, and if you go back to episode 1, you remember that there were kids playing in the courtyard and they were playing Squid Game. The rules are, I guess they're a bit complex for me, but Squid Game it looks like a cross between hopscotch, baseball, and tag. If I'm getting all that correct from what I saw. Um, I think the goal is to stay within the squid's body because it's an outline drawing, not a literal squid, but some outline representing a squid. Then there's a head, and you have offense, defense, and I think defense gets to do whatever it can to offense to get them pushed out of the squid's body. But the goal is to get to the squid's head, which is the top of the court, and that person wins, basically. So anyway, um Song and Cho both still have their knives, so they try to stab each other. I don't even know if they're still playing by the official rules of Squid Game, but they're fighting. They're brawling. They're out trying to stab each other, trying to kill each other, trying to do whatever, just all this frustration. How could you do this? We were friends, you killing people. I had to do what I had to do because I need money. You're no better than me, blah blah blah. You know. So they're fighting. Of course, the VIPs are watching all of this from their safe glass plate window lounge, drinking their champagne out of their gold plated glass. Then it starts to rain, which one of the VIP members points out is very poetic. I guess. I don't know. Just anything they have to say, I'm like, okay, whatever, VIP. Anyway, um, so the part that made me kind of cringe was that Cho, he had Song pinned down on the ground, right? And he went to stab him. No, Song reached his hand out and then he stabbed. Well, this is pen. I didn't stab myself. he he stabbed his hand, like it went through his hand, and I was like, oh god, like I don't know. I didn't think that was gonna happen. That kind of I had a jerk reaction, like, oh god. Um. So anyway, um, long story short, they're going back and forth and they're fighting each other. Um, Song has Cho pinned down, and I thought he was gonna stab him, but he stabbed the ground. I guess he punched him out enough where he couldn't hardly get up. So we see Song going for the squid's head or the top of the court so he can win, and he stops. And then the guard has the gun over Cho because you remember there's no survivors. One person can win. Only one can win. Like Highlander, there can only be one, you know? So Song stops and he says, wait, what about Amendment 3? Where if we both agree, then the game stops. So he tells Cho, let's just go home. Let's just stop the game. Of course, the VIP people are pissed. They want to see some death and one winner. That's what they came here for. Because they all went through this game and they had to go through the same thing. And to them, that's unfair. But it is part of the rules of the game. If two or three or whoever many players agree, then the game stops and everybody gets to just go home. Of course, Cho, which I didn't think he was gonna do this, he picked up the knife. And as opportunist as he is, I thought he was just gonna stab Song and just win the game. Instead, Cho did the only humane thing I've seen throughout this game, which is stab himself in the neck. And he told Song, use some of the money to take care of my mom. And then he died. I was kind of sad, but then I was like, well, it's the least you can do is stab yourself in the neck because you've been a horrible person throughout this whole game. Oh goodness. But anyway, so Song is the winner. Yay, Song. He won. Yay. Oh my gosh. So anyway, he is in this long stretch limo. Of course he's blindfolded. And we see the front man, which is the policeman's brother, remember. Um so Song is asking him through the blindfold, why this game? Who are you? What is going on? And I think the front man said, do you know horses? You bet on horses. Where it's the same thing with us, we just bet on people. Um, which I thought was a interesting correlation. Um, I guess I never think about how betting on horses is the same as betting on human beings. But I guess in their logic, that makes sense. So we'll just give that to them. Oh boy. Anyway, um so he of course they gas him, right? They gas the limo because Song is like, oh my god, who are you people? What are you doing? Whatever. So they drop Song off on a street corner and there's a preacher and he's like, believe in Jesus or go to hell. And you know, Song comes to and he takes the blindfold off. And I'm only mentioning this because I thought it was an interesting scene. He takes the blindfold off and then he looks up and the guy's like, do you believe in Jesus? And then the Song opens his eyes and he looks up and then a credit card comes out his mouth, which I guess you can read so much into that. Like symbolically, money is literally coming out his mouth. Like this is what he believes in, and it's just coming out his mouth. But for the sake of this show and for time, I'm not gonna get too deep into it. I just thought that was an interesting scene as gold credit card is came out his mouth right at that time where the guy asked him, do you believe in Jesus? And I guess that is his Jesus, this gold credit card, ladies and gentlemen. Whatever. Anyway, Song goes through the fish market because he's just this disheveled. Like he has severe PTSD for anything he's been through. Um, of course he got the money, you know. He goes to the fish market and he sees Cho's mom actually, And she's like, "Hey, I haven't heard from your mom in a long time. And as you remember, before Song went back into this game, he his mom was sick and I think she had cancer. And that was the purpose for him going back into this game because the insurance wouldn't pay for her treatments. And he was like, okay, well, I gotta go back in this game. So she's like, hey, I haven't heard from your mom in a long time. Is she okay? Etc. So um then Cho's mom said something that really just was another nail in Song's coffin of emotions, I guess you can say. He's like, she asked him, oh, have you seen Cho? I haven't seen him lately. As you remember, Cho is dead. Okay. He stabbed himself in the neck and on the final game, so he's not coming back. So Song just walks off and it's really sad. You know, you can see him just slowly walking, disheveled. I think he's a billionaire or millionaire, disheveled, and it's raining, of course. And he goes back to his house with his mom. He's like, Mom, I'm here. Mom, 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 hello, mom, where are you? And then he finds his mom on the floor. And he's like, oh my God, mom, you okay? Mom, I made money, mom. And guess what? His mom is dead. The reason why he got back in this game is for his mom, and he was too late to save her. I can't imagine what that does to somebody. Just I don't know. Just you were right there, and then you missed it. Right? Oh, it was just sad. So anyway, cut to which I thought was interesting. That Song is on a train. Um, he um I think he had an appointment with the bank, and the bank called him, and they're like, he's with the bank, whoever manager. The bank manager is like, so you got a lot of money and you haven't used it. Like you took out 10,000 won, and that was it. So, so we have a VIP account for people like you, which makes me think, is he in on this game? Does he know about this game? Talking about a VIP account, you know? So Song is not interested in anything. He don't even want to touch the money. I think, yeah, besides that 10,000 won he took out, which is, I don't know how much it is. Um, I want to look it up actually. While I'm on the air, I look it up. Let's see. 10,000. Wow. Okay. 10,000 won is $8. He just this person got like probably $1 million in his bank account or a billion. I don't know. And he just pulls out $8. You think about that. That's where he is right now. So anyway, um, yeah, he told him, I don't care, whatever. Just can you give me some money? You know, which is weird to ask the bank teller. I guess can you give me some money? I mean, you can go to the ATM and get your own money. Anyway, I digress. Um, so he's sitting out there on the beach, and there's this lady, and she's like, "Oh, buy some flowers for me," and he buys flowers. You know those people on the street that ask you to buy roses. You just like, okay, fine, I'll buy your roses. Just get out my face. You know. So he buys roses, and there's a card, and it's the card from the game. You know, it's the symbols like me and Tamara talked about the PlayStation symbols, PlayStation. You know, so so it's that, and I'm just gonna put a chat overlay here just in case there's somebody that wants my thing there. But anyway, so they, where was I? Oh, right. Sorry about that. He gets a card and it's from the game. And they say, meet me at this building at this time. So he's like, why is the game contacting me? I'm out the game. I'm sick of this game, but I'll meet them anyway. So he goes up, meets whoever he's supposed to meet at the building, and he walks into this luxury building on this luxury floor. And all it is just a hospital bed, which is odd. There's a hospital bed and there's a patient in bed. And he's like, what is this? It's like a hospital room set up in this luxury building. So he goes over to the patient. And as he goes over to the patient, he's like, wait, what the? And that's what I was saying. I was saying, what the? So guess who the patient is? It is, I wish I had a drum roll. Um, I wish I had a drum roll sound effect because I need one for this foolishness I'm about to tell y'all right now. Um, the the internet is slow because I want my drum roll right now. Um, oh, internet, you're killing me now. You're killing me softly. I'm trying to get a drum roll effect. Okay, okay, here we go.
Real solutions.
That's not
True gun safety for families, for friends.
Oh man. See, Tamara don't even have to be here and the show just goes off the rails.
For all.
Oh boy. Okay. Drum roll, drum roll, drum roll. Guess who the mystery patient is? It's the old man. Oh my God. Yes, that old man. The old man who was in this game. The old man we love so dearly. The old man who we thought died at the end of the marble game is in this hospital bed. Song is like us, like, what the fuck are you doing here? Didn't you die? And long story short, the old man is like, oh, it's me out behind the game. Can you believe that? He was behind this game this whole time. He was the host. He was the mastermind behind this Squid Game. This whole game. A song says, why? Why? Why were you behind this game? What is going on? Who are you? So it turns out that the old man was like some rich investor or whoever. And he made lots of money, but he was bored. As I guess some rich people are. I never been rich. I've been bored, broke, but I guess bored rich is another level. So he tells him, I was bored. I made so much money. But that money didn't give me any joy in life. And then I talked to my friends and they felt the same way. They was like, there's no joy anymore. We made so much money. We don't have to worry about nothing. There's no excitement. Oh, what are we gonna do to find joy in our lives? I know. Let's create a game where we base it off our childhood games and we get people. Let's get people in the game. Yeah, let's get people to compete in a game based around our childhood games we all grew up with. They'll play these games for money, but the catch is that they may die. So, for some reason, the old man thought, and a group of rich people, his rich group of people, that it was a good idea to create this heinous game where poor people, people who don't have any money, hardly, are desperate enough to compete in this game where they have to survive. It's survival of the fittest, basically, to win cash money. And he used to be my favorite character too, so you can understand how I feel betrayed, feel bewildered. You feel just like Song. You are like, what? And the next question is Song like, well, why'd you let me win? Song, no, the old man said, because you were fun to play with. Because you were fun to play with. I didn't know what to say. I was like, what? I was just like Song. I was like, what? I was fun to play with. You, I don't know. I just don't know. It, it was a mess. Mm. But anyway, so like I said, we find out that the old man who we all loved and we trusted, he was seen vulnerable and weak, was the mastermind behind this whole game. But he said the brain tumor and everything else is true. Oh boy. So anyway, the old man finally died. I guess he wanted, well, before he died, he said, Song, why aren't you spending your money? You earned that money. You aren't even touching it. And he's like, I don't want to touch that money. It's blood money. Anyway, he's like, well, you got to spend the money. It's your money. And then he dies. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. Anyway, um, so he dies one last time. Oh boy. Goodness. So moving on. Song is just, I don't know. He's out of it. He's like, oh my God, these people are crazy. These people are nuts. I can't trust nobody. So, which is weird, but Song went to the hairstylist and he got his hair cut and dyed. I guess that's how he is like gonna deal with this crisis. He's like, I'm just gonna get my hair done. Okay. I guess it looked good on him. I don't know. He looked like a K-pop star, but K-pop star with a haircut, but with red hair. I guess he looked good. I don't know. Um. Anyway, he he decides not to wallow in self pity, and he remembered that Kong, or the girl, she had a brother in the orphanage, as you remember from the marble game from episode 7, I believe it was, or 6. Um, she said that her parents were in the orphanage, and her brother, right, in Korea. So he goes to visit her brother. Her brother, he looks like he's about 9 or so. So he's like, hey, I knew your sister. She was a good woman, blah, blah, blah. He takes her brother and introduces her to Cho's mother. And he's like, can you take care of him? I have to go on a trip. So he leaves a suitcase with him. And Cho's mother's like, oh, let me get you something to eat, little one. Oh, he left your suitcase. Oh, goodness, it's heavy. What's in this suitcase? Boom, it was half his money. So he did fulfill Cho's promise. He did give Cho's half of the money, I guess, in a way, to his mom. So they're set. And she sort of has an adopted son now in place of Cho, which was really sweet. Um, and so Song is getting off the train, right? And I think he's gonna take a trip to see his daughter because they moved to America, as you remembered. Um, so before that, he looks over and he sees the same guy in the beginning. If you remember when he played the slap game, where he was approached by a stranger and say, "Let's play this slap game, and I give you some money, and we just bet a friendly bet." And that's how he got into this game. Um, so he saw that happening, and he saw the same guy. He chased. He went to chase that guy. So he ran across the train station trying to catch up with the guy who was orchestrating this game, and he couldn't catch him in time. He caught up with the guy that was playing the game, and he was like, "You do not want to get involved in this game. I'm telling you, do not even call this number and just cut your losses now. You do not want to go down the path I went through playing this game." So, um, next scene we see Song get on the plane, right? He's getting on the plane to his daughter. Well, he's on the whatever, just walking up to the plane way or whatever you call it, whatever, boarding. Um, and he calls a number on the card, and I'm thinking, what are you thinking, Song? You trying to get back in this game? But he called a number on the card, and he was like, "You people are sick. This is an atrocity. Um, your operation needs to be shut down. Blah blah blah. I don't forgive any of you people." And the operator on the other end was like, "You need to be careful what you say and just get on the plane and be quiet." Of course, Song hangs up the phone and he's walking, right? And we're like, okay, he's going to get on the plane to his daughter. But he doesn't. He stops and he's like, he turns around and I don't know where he's going, but then it ends with him turning around. I don't know if he's going to turn around and just try to confront them or shut down this game, but we'll see what's going to happen in season 2. So that is the end. Yay, we made it 7 through 9. Oh my goodness, what a roller coaster this whole thing has been. We learned that the policeman's brother is the front man in this game, and we thought he was murdered, and that's why the policeman got in here. So we learned that. Then we learned that the old man we all loved and trusted, we put our hopes in, and we thought he died, is the mastermind behind this game because he was bored and he wanted some excitement in his life. So he decided to do a game where human beings play and they die. And then you can bet on them like horses, along with his other rich friends. So you got that going on. And then I remember the news report in the background was saying that Korea was going through a high deficit. So their economy was tanking. So you got all this in the background too. And as you can see, this game continues on. Even after song 1, the game continues on. So I don't know when season 2 is coming out, but I'm excited to see what Song is gonna do. Is he going to infiltrate the game like the policeman did and try to bust it up? But as we can see, that's really hard to do because there's no reception on this island where this game is played, and it seems like there's no way off either. Um, so yeah, it's gonna be really interesting to see what Song does in season two. If I was him, I would just go on the plane with the rest of my money and saw my daughter and got into a lot of therapy and maybe take some medicine or something so my mental health can be better because of all that stuff I went through. But he seemed determined to go back to something. Um, but yeah, if I had to guess, I would. I think he would go back and try to dismantle the game. That's what I think. Um, maybe mm, it's probably just gonna be him because I think the past players, the VIP players, they're just in it to see for the riches and to see other people die. So you, like I said, this whole this whole series has been really interesting. You can see some of the background of Korea's economy. I don't know if that's what the creator was thinking about when he wrote this series, but it does show the background of Korea's economy and the wealth gap between the poor and the rich. Um, it does show addiction, I guess, because Song in the beginning had a gambling addiction, which is why he got into this game in the first place. If you go back and look at the reasons why people got into this game, maybe that can give you some insights into the psyche. I thought this game was interesting. This whole series was interesting too. It was like a play on I guess it was like a play on like an experiment, into the human psyche. I could see little things that they were doing in this game. The guards, like shortening food rations, and then there were fights, and then somebody dies, and then just putting them up against impossible tasks and rigging the games to see what would they do in this situation. Will they work together? Will they fight each other? It's so much you can dig into with Squid Game, the series, that you can draw out. Um, and I believe, I don't know, maybe I missed it. There was supposed to be a Q&A with the director of Squid Game or the writer and a few of the cast members, and it was supposed to be live streaming. It may have been tonight or it may be tomorrow, but check on that online and see. But anyway, that's the end of the show. Thanks for hanging in there with me as I blunder through this. um, I guess next throughout the week, I may be on YouTube to give trailer reviews. I know recently I saw the Eternals. I may try to give a review on that next Friday. We'll see. But keep up to date with our social media, and I'll let you know the shows that I will be doing and the shows that are coming up. So, speaking of social media, you can find us on Facebook. Let me put this up. You can follow us on Facebook at Two Blurred Girls. You can follow us on Twitter at Blurred Two Girls. You can also follow us on Instagram at Blurred Girls underscore podcast. You can subscribe and like our videos on Two Blurred Girls podcast. You can also follow us on Twitter. Subscribe and like us, please. We're also on Twitch, which I forgot to put up here. We're on Twitch at Two Blurred Girls Podcast. We are also we also have an audio podcast, which usually is uploaded right after our live broadcast. And you can follow us on Apple. You can follow us on iHeartRadio. You can also follow us on Google. You can follow us also on Breaker Podcasts. And I believe we are also on Amazon Music and Audible. Goodpods. Goodpods is like the Facebook or the social media, but for podcast hosts. And you can like and post and give ratings and comments on others' podcasts. So be sure to follow us on Good Pods as well. I know John will be back on one of the shows we do. So stay tuned for that. And I'll probably be on some of John's shows as well, back and forth like that. So just stay tuned next Friday. I will try to have a show for you guys. And Tamara, like I said, will be back on the 17th. She's just taking a brief hiatus. A lot's going on with work. And, she's a working mother and a wife. So you have to understand that. So we're wishing you the best, Tamara. And, I miss you. Can't wait for you to come back. But also you can check out her husband's podcast, Wrestling Rocks. I believe that's the name of the podcast. I think they come on Mondays or Thursdays. So check out their live shows as well. That's pretty good. As always, you can check out John's show, Movie Lovers Unite. He has shows uploaded daily. So you can check his show out as well. Anyway, stay tuned for next Friday. I will let you know what show we have. And also stay tuned on YouTube because I may be doing trailer reactions throughout the week. So until next time, take care and see you. Bye.